Hello, and welcome to Boston, Massachusetts. This is the view from our hotel room. My wife and I are in town for about 24 hours. Just outside the hotel now. Had a nice bagel and finishing up my coffee. That is where the Boston Tea Party took place. I guess they do recreations. We won't be visiting that today. Now I'll show a little footage from our day yesterday. We got into town around noon. Traffic was not as bad as we thought it might be. The reason we came to town is to attend a graduation. Just a little glimpse before the ceremony. Beautiful campus. That's Gordon Hall. I'll show some highlights. That's a student. That's a professor. That's another student. That's Sanjay Gupta. That's my lunch. Everyone was happy to get their degree. That seagull just stole my wife's breakfast. Man, crime is out of control in this city. What kind of cream cheese did you have on there? It's a poppy seed bagel.
Here's the fire station.
So we're gonna take a little tour on one of these duck boats.
I'm just waiting for a few more people to come on, and then we'll take right off. How's that? Where you guys from? How far? iPhone 14, you want an iPhone 28. Okay, yes, okay? I'm a Harbor Road. Oh, I got you, moms. Don't you worry. I got 4 kids. I got it, okay? I got you. Don't you worry. Well, we're not 27 gallons of tea, all right? It's an old tea house. It's kind of cool. Now, right down that alleyway where that dog is, there's a woman buried in there called Mary Chilton. This woman here, Mary Chilton, is the first woman to set foot up the Mayflower. So in this burying ground, you had Samuel Adams, Robert D. Payne, and John Hancock, all signed the Declaration of Independence. Also buried in there was Paul Revere, with many of his children. In the middle, way in the back, there's a guy with a little blue backpack on his shoulder. That statue right there, the obelisk, is Benjamin Franklin's family. Benjamin was not from Philadelphia. He's buried in Philadelphia, but he was born in Boston with 18 children. That was the first law school in America for women only in 1908. Church, 1877. Look how beautiful that is. It's one of the top 10 buildings ever designed in our country, ranked number 7 in the country. Okay, now everybody's taking this picture, this beautiful park, right? So you need to go in it. It's the very first public botanical park in America. It is stunning inside. You get the swan boat rides out there. They've been running since 1877. The park is 1837. California, you got 2 redwoods in there. There's a tree for every state except Arizona, Hawaii, and Florida. They can't handle the cold weather. They got planted 2 days before Memorial Day weekend. And they represent all the brave men and women that have been killed in action, dating back to the American Revolution, representing Massachusetts residents. Now, folks, here's what you want to do. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I go over there every year. I pay my respects. You go over there and you stand in those flags and close your eyes. I challenge you for 10 seconds. If it's a windy day, you'll hear those flags whipping. It's a sound that will literally bring tears to your eyes. It really is. It's Bush. A president was born in your state. All right? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Where's that invented? Here in Boston by a woman called Mary Dyer. Mary Dyer was hanged on the gallows because of her religious beliefs. So it happened in 1660. And you're going to see a statue of Mary Dyer in a chair coming out. What was her other crime? Look at the statue. Her other crime? Texting in church. Right there, yes. And there's another Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, you were right on that one. Okay. Good. Now, you guys wanted the big splash. It's not Disney. Okay? You got a 10,000-pound motor in the front. Your rudder's in the back. You lose your steering. How do I know that? My first year here, I was practicing. I came up that ramp like Dukes of Hazzard. Smashed right in the wall. All right, we're now on the Charles River. See that light-colored brown bridge? If that opens up, you know what happens? Boats will come up from the Boston Harbor. So this is what it looks like on July 2nd. Over 600 to 700 boats come across, 7,000 feet across. I'm going to show you where I used to bring my boat up for many years. See that brick building over there with the great triangle roof? That's a Suffolk County jail. That's a jail. That's free to stay. What do you do, Mike Air in New York? Yes, police officer. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, see the red triangle with that Citgo? You're looking towards Fenway, right? Does anybody know why they call it Fenway? That neighborhood is called the Fens. It means marshland. It's Old English. Fens. Marshland. If you go to England, you'll find the Fens. That's where you find Fenway Park, which is free. Just keep in mind, there are 294 stairs going up. However, how many stairs going down, though? Everyone take a guess? 294. I'm just messing with you. Okay, so to the right of that monument is this, the USS Constitution.
Well, we're going to explore a shopping district now. We'll see how this turns out. There's the famous Quincy Market. The oldest tavern in America. And we're going to eat at the Union Oyster House right there. We put our name in for a table. It's going to be about 20 minutes. I have no idea who these statues represent. I'm sure there's somebody important. We have raised this flag in tribute to all the American and other Allied soldiers who liberated us from brutal Nazi tyranny, Holocaust survivors of Greater Boston. And there's the flag. I might not show too much of this Holocaust Memorial for a couple reasons. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it justice, for one thing. This memorial is dedicated to the 6 million Jewish men, women, and children who were murdered by the Nazi Third Reich between 1933 and 1945 in what the world has come to call the Holocaust. All right, lunch is over. And we're in a farmer's market. Burger. Gordon Ramsay. By the way, they're hiring. This is a labyrinth. Well, we got a merry-go-round here. Walking back to our car now. Some folks getting ready to go out on this boat. Well, that's going to do it.
Go past this light, then at the next one. Continue straight.
We're going to continue straight and head home.
For 151 miles, continue straight.
A few years ago, one evening I was on call. A 93-year-old man was brought into the emergency room. All I initially knew was that he had been in some sort of accident, and a CT scan revealed that he had bleeding on the brain. When my resident first told me about the patient, the main fact that stood out to me was his age, 93. Being completely honest, I thought maybe he was too old to undergo an operation. But then I started to hear and listen to more of the story. My patient, the 93-year-old I was told was incredibly healthy. He was still an avid runner. He even worked part-time as an accountant still. They kept him around, his 65-year-old son told me, because he was such a whiz with numbers. In fact, his brain bleed had occurred because he fell off his roof after taking a leaf blower up there trying to blow off the leaves. So given all that, I decided to take him to the operating room and decompress his brain. As you might imagine, I was pretty nervous to see afterward how he was going to wake up, what his recovery might be like. Did I make the right decision? Had I prolonged his life or just extended his death? And as soon as I walked into the room, I knew the answer. The man was already up, reading his smartphone, his reading glasses adjusted over his white bandage. He told me that he was following the recent elections in West Africa, as one does right after emergency brain surgery. It was pretty clear he was recovering well. And after examining him, I asked him, I said, how did this whole event affect you, wondering how he was thinking about his mortality? He smiled and he looked at me and he said, the biggest lesson in all this, no more trying to blow the leaves off the roof.
Bye-bye.
In 3.8 miles, keep left onto North Beacon Street.